Hey guys, Yodid here with a live stream, but I'm actually here. It's just gonna be a story time live stream. I actually haven't done this. I'm doing this to have this nice little background setting in Minecraft because Minecraft's pretty peaceful. But anyway, let's keep on with the story. So, about a year ago, it's around Black Friday. It's a couple weeks before Black Friday, and I'm still trying to find ways to get the brand new PS5 that came out. Searching along, trying to get on Walmart's online store. Every single time bots are buying it. So I check a GameStop ad saying at every single GameStop they'll have at least two at every single store, and that made me happy. I was like, okay, around Wednesday, I already told my mom, hey, I have to miss Thanksgiving basically if I want to do this, but around Wednesday, around later, not on the night, I said around like 5 or 6, we go to our nearest GameStop and stay the night there for 2 days. So Wednesday hits, we start driving there around 5. It's around 5:30. We already see a couple people in line. Well, maybe these people are for Xbox. We see 3 people technically in line, one guy and then 2 people. We asked one guy, he said, I'm here for the PS5. We asked the other guy, we said, we're also here for the PlayStation 5, but we're brothers. And that made me sad. And then this guy keeps telling me, amen, maybe they got an extra one in stock, you never know. You could just, it's no harm maybe staying one night, man, you can just do that. And then if they don't have it, just leave the next morning. We don't want to do that. So we call our other closest GameStop, which now became an hour away because in both directions from where we lived, there was a GameStop 30 minutes away from each side. But then we drove 30 minutes in the other direction, so it turned into an hour. So we drive there. So we drive an hour to the GameStop because we called them and they said nobody's in line because they were still open. So we drive there and nobody's still in line. The only reason why we were getting a little worried was because the GameStop workers said, hey, there's nobody still in line. Oh, my bad. But there's still nobody in line. But we did get a call, and the person called and asked the same question. So you might have some sort of competition. We go, there's nobody still in line. And so I would technically be in first in line. Store closes like an hour later. The store was about to close before they put it, and like it was like 20-30 minutes before they closed, and I knew I was going to be a guaranteed person. So I just go up there and I actually bought a game, so I'd have the game, so I wouldn't have to wait and be such a hassle during it and be like, yo, can you give me this game? Can you get me the game as well with this? So I didn't have to worry about that. I just said, hey, can you get me just NBA 2K21. This was last year, by the way, for the PlayStation 5 Legend Edition. So I buy that and everything, and then I'm just waiting in line. It is kind of cold, and I'm kind of cold, and then my dad just told me to get in the car. He says, hey, you can try and catch some Z's. I'd be like, I'm not probably gonna sleep, but thanks for the kind of hot car. Car wasn't super hot, but it wasn't cold. I mean, we didn't have heat on, but since it was technically somewhat indoors, I took 1 or 2 blankets from outside to put it. Still claimed some blankets on there so people know, hey, look, if I somehow did somewhat fall asleep in the chairs there, and maybe people think I'm just in the car because they'd see another car. But, yeah. So anyway, it was just, we were just out here, like, just out here, and then finally, after forever, like, it's the next day around 7 o'clock in the morning, somebody else finally came. When I see somebody come, I walk outside just to say, hey man, this is my seat. I just kind of hang, and we kind of actually talked for a little bit. He was a little older, he was around, but he was pretty chill, and he's pretty cool. We're just out here, like, talking. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? He goes, oh, it's pretty good, you know. They're like, we're just talking about how good it is, and like I'm like, hey man, so what's your PlayStation username? I don't have technically a PlayStation account yet, but just tell me it. So he tells me my username. He tells me his username, so then I add him. And it was pretty chill. It was pretty cool. I was just enjoying myself and having some fun. And we're just out here. Finally, a third guy shows up, and we had to tell him the bad news. He was like, hey man, I'm sorry man, but there's no more slots left. Me and him took them, and there isn't any. This guy's being a little stubborn. He's like, he was like the other guy telling me, hey, there might be some other consoles because they have the false whole thing. It's like, well, maybe they get lucky, you know, maybe that's just the wrong number. Maybe they get an extra one. I was like, okay. We tried to tell him, hey man, look, I don't think they get an extra one. You really think people are going to work on Thanksgiving and get it the night before because it opens on Friday? So we're just out here. Oh, the one thing I didn't mention, on the first day I was there, it was during the night when I was hanging out in my seat. A cop car technically pulled over and he said what I was doing, and then I pointed to the sign showing how many consoles. So I was like, oh, I'm waiting for this new console. He's like, oh, okay. He's actually kind of chill. I mean, he from the vibe I got, it was more of a questioning to keep the town safe and make sure no robberies happen, and not a being mean and kind of just worrying and being mad at me. It was a very calm interaction. So then afterwards we're just hanging, and then most of the time I was just on my phone. I had a portable charger that charged everything, so I just had a bunch of portable chargers. I got 3 or 4 just so to keep everything alive. I was watching YouTube and some Disney Plus, watching those shows just to keep it alive. And because I'll tell you the total, but staying in line for that long does a lot. You have nothing to do. It is so boring because you're out there for that long, and it's just getting so boring because you're just always like, it's part of your thing, mental status of what you can do and talk to good. It's kind of bored. You're talking about how much you're bored, not about how ecstatic you are. Your hype never really dies down during that time. I did notice that. Different people agree or disagree with me when I say that, but I would say most people would agree with me, because if they're playing a game and they're waiting in line for something, they'll be, oh, I just saw you're talking about a story time. When this live stream's over, you can rewind it, play Minecraft as the background. But if you want to watch the full video, you can. But anyway, let's continue. Going along and just like waiting in line for the PlayStation. It's just like when I waited last year, it was just so much of a, you know, you're just talking about it like in line, like it turns into talking about how excited you are to get it because you're the only 2 people in line. That's what me and the other guy was doing when we were guaranteed to get it. We were talking about how much we were going to play on it. And then it just gets boring because you already talked about the main thing. So now you're just talking about how boring you are, how boring it is waiting in line, but you're also so excited. And that total time, I think, combined, where I thought it was safe to sleeping in my chair, was like, in total, I probably slept like an hour during that time for last year. So I will just say that. This is a rough estimate. It's not a great estimate, and I will be honest, that is not a great estimate. But it is an estimate that I think is kind of close, an hour or 2 on the sleeping spectrum of everything. But then, got inside and got the PlayStation, and it was very fun. Been playing it, as you know, technically playing it to this day. And it's been amazing. it's an amazing system, and so I'm technically playing Minecraft on it right now. It is technically the PS4 version because they have not came out with a PS5 version. But I do love this, and I do love PlayStation. But experience, and now let's get on to the total. The total amount of time I spent in line was 37 hours. Yeah, 37. "37 hours is like a lot of time, man. Like, I mean, I'm not just saying that, it is, but almost died right there. But like, it is, because you're just out there like, hey man, just get me, like, it's just so funny, and it's just so fun, just waiting out there 37 hours. It was also cold, but it was a very fun experience. Like, honestly, it's made me rethink about console experience, because you get so much I get so much sentimental value when I played this. I bought an Xbox Series S a couple months ago, and I'm actually gonna sell it just because I never play it now, because I don't get the same experience. Just because it's not just me playing on it, I don't get the same. I waited 37 hours in line for this experience. I know that sounds weird, but other gamers can maybe agree with me on that. Like, you don't get the same reaction. You don't get the same hype and reaction. You don't get the happiness. So playing on the Xbox, it was a decent system. But it just didn't exceed my expectations, or it wasn't what I wanted it to be. And now just playing on such a difference in console and everything has just been so great on PlayStation. It's been seeking opportunity. But anyway, that's basically all I can tell you guys about it. Like this video, comment if you want to see more of this, and thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.